welcome. We are live today in multiple places, and I'm so excited for our Power Hour session that we're going to have today on maximizing your reach and plan as a fearless creator. And so I want to make sure that we are able to connect with those who are joining us live, whether you are tuning in on the YouTube channel or in the Facebook group or here on Clubhouse. We definitely want to welcome you. I see also we have a special guest joining us here on Zoom. Hi, Paul. So good to see you here. And so we just want to take a moment because I recognize that we are showing up in multiple ways. And as a fearless creator, we always want to remain consistent in the endeavor that God has called us to fulfill and to proclaim as we are showing up in multiple places and maximizing our reach, maximizing our energy. You know, I love to speak on this and really enjoy hearing your perspectives in this Power Hour room that we have that is dedicated to just having this time as fearless creators to connect and as fearless creators to go behind the scenes of what it takes in order to maximize your reach with all the technology that is before you. And sometimes that can be the difficult part. The difficult part is understanding all of the different ways that you can show up and making sure that you master it over time. And I know we have some masters in the house, in the space here when it comes to YouTube, podcasting, and in all of the ways that we are showing up fearlessly to get our message out there. And we are looking to really impact lives, as I love to say, for eternity, right? We are creating content that is going to allow us to have this reach that is beyond that moment, that is going to live on if you are considering how to utilize them to the best of your ability and to the best of the ability of those that you enlist to come alongside you. And so some of the questions I recently sent out, I'm going to address those of you who are subscribed to the newsletter. You saw that I sent you some questions that you need to consider. And so later I will go more in depth as we normally do in our Power Hour session here today with our shares and of course with our connections. And so before we go to those questions, definitely if you're a subscriber, go over to your newsletter right now and open that up, right? We're maximizing here today you being able to see visually some of the questions that we'll be answering and some of the questions that you'll be answering for yourself as you maximize your reach. So we are recording this today. It will be repurposed. It will be coming forth in all of the platforms that we have a presence, and we want you to consider the ways that you can do the same. And so we're going to go right to our amazing guests here on the stage as a hearty and special welcome. James, Damien, Jemmy, Coach Paul. We're just so grateful that you're going to be sharing your gifts and your expertise here with us today in the Fearless Creator space. And so, James, let us know, what does it look like to maximize your reach and your plan? And let us know about you as well. It's so good to have you here. Over to you. Okay, okay, no worries at all. And I am so grateful that I'm hearing you speak here because I'm realizing that the Bluetooth was not connected. So we have to connect you to the Roadcaster Pro here. So you probably didn't hear my music in the beginning when we got started. So, yes, okay, we're going to keep things rolling. Now we're all connected. So I'm going to go ahead and have Damien then. We love to go down the line and give our moderators a chance to introduce themselves and to just share their wisdom on the topic at hand. So, yes, Damien, how are you maximizing your reach and plan as a YouTuber? Over to you.
Peace, peace. Good morning, Stacy, and good morning to all in this space. How I maximize my reach and my plan is I aim to have as many. I keep wireless headphones on, in the home. So I'm not sure if you can tell from the specific Bluetooth connection, but whenever I'm washing dishes or whenever I'm cleaning the house or whenever I'm taking care of something that might not specifically need my 100% attention, I'm aiming to get that wee little bit of, if it's either inspiration or it's information or if it's more perspective on a guest that I'm going to have coming in. Or I might get something that, ooh, I need to add that to my workflow and my regimen. And that helps me be better person down the line. The more that you can continue to tap into folk around you and fold it into your own um, workflow, the more that you'll be able to give yourself grace. Because there's a lot of shame and that comes from being a creator and comes from, oh, I didn't do this or oh, I could be doing that. But on the other side of shame is grace. It's one coin and they both have two sides, the heads and the tails. And they go together. And you have to know when to give yourself grace that this did not get done as I thought it was going to get done. And that's okay. I'm still great. I'm still one of the best. And so, how I maximize and maximize my reach and get forward with my plan is I give myself the grace to be able to be fluid with my workflow. And if that means that there's too many things going on, so many things going on, how about I just put these headphones on and I'll listen to this person that's supposed to be a podcast guest on my podcast. Let me just soak up what they do and how they work with their guests, and I get a better idea about them that way as I go through my own life and not just sit down and specifically only listen to them and only give them that time in that way. That way, I'm able to continue to accomplish my own goals and still be connected with my plan. That I think I couldn't find the words to finish that off, but I think you all get what I mean. Peace and respect, and thank you, Stacey.
Ooh, that was so good. And I'm just so excited that you laid that out for us today, Damien. I love that you're taking the time to remind us of the grace that we have to give ourselves. And you are consuming content with intention. I love that. Making sure that as you're consuming the content for those who you've invited in on your podcast or on a podcast, you have that intention to learn and then to apply and to soak up and to really be able to receive what it is that you are in turn giving to others on your platform. And that goes such a long way. That is such an incredible plan to have in mind as a podcaster, as a YouTuber. Guys, check out Damien's YouTube channel. It's so incredible. He's so focused on the audience that he's been called to reach, and certainly that maximizes his reach. So I appreciate that, Damien. You know, every time I go back to the replays, I always discover more that I missed the first time. So I'm definitely going to be doing that with this episode here today. And so we're going to pass this mic rolling along. A special welcome to everyone that is joining us in the listening lounge. We do invite you to share this out for our power hour. It's going to be a jam-packed, maximized session where we're learning from the masters, these brilliant minds of fearless creators. And if you want to come up and add your voice during this power hour, feel free to raise your hands and join us up here because you are a gift. Your presence and your voice is a gift in this community. So, Jemmy, oh my word, so glad you're here. As a fellow podcast pro, let me know, how are you maximizing your reach and plan? Let us know about you. And we're just so excited to learn from you. Over to you, love.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Stacey. Great room as always. Excited for today. So, yeah, I maximize my reach by not doing anything in isolate, or trying not to do anything at least in isolation. And I mean that in two ways, really. One is through collaborations, working with others. So that means doing things both, whether it's in clubhouse rooms like today, or through brand ambassadorships and working with groups of teams trying to get the word about something, or whatever it is. I try to collaborate with people quite a bit. I feel like the more that we collaborate rather than compete with each other, a rising tide truly does lift all ships. So I try not to create an isolation. I like to collaborate. So that's that's one way that I mean it. But also another way that I mean about trying not to create an isolation is I try to create things that are like it's all within my ecosystem. They all work together. So whether that means creating a piece of content, for example, on my podcast that gets repurposed someplace else, or I then speak on that content in a clubhouse room, whatever it is, I'm repurposing or revisiting things in different places, or stacking things on top of each other. So um, I'm also like, for example, the Owl app. I can go in there and be an expert and connect with people who want to be my clients. Well, I can come into Clubhouse and hold a podcasting room and pour into people and share my my ideas for that week or whatnot, my tips, but then go into Owl or other opportunities and then maximize my reach or maximize those connections or nurture those relationships even more. So I say that's the way that I'm maximizing my reach by not creating an isolation, by both number one doing things in collaboration with others, and then number two through repurposing and stacking just the content that I'm already creating, so everything's a nice ecosystem. I'm complete.
Yes. Oh my word. Absolutely love that. And guys, you're hearing from someone who runs multiple businesses and has these networks and clients, and then still being able to see the value in collaboration, in partnerships, and then being able to repurpose. How many of you are maximizing your reach, not just through the collaboration, but the templates that will allow you to repurpose the content that you're creating in multiple ways and in multiple formats where your people are? That is invaluable. Jemmy, I know you're such a wealth of resource, and I love the work you're doing even for the next generation, right? When we look beyond and we think about our why and the big picture plan, the legacy that we can leave when we maximize our reach and when we enlist the help of others, the sky is the limit in what we're able to achieve. And so, guys, make sure you do tap in, because if you ever wanted to get to a place where you're able to monetize and maximize your reach and have a plan in place, these are the people that you want to turn to. And there are people even in the audience. Check out their bios and make sure that you're connecting fearlessly as we give this opportunity week after week on our Fearless Fridays. That was so good. So, Coach Paul, I know that you are also on Zoom because we give that option. And it's amazing when people take advantage of that. We give this option for those who would like to be able to do a little bit of networking on camera, when we have our power hour, and it's just another layer of connection. I heard some of you say in our previous rooms and in all the rooms that we host throughout the week, community is key. Community is at the heart of what we do. And while we love the relationships that are able to be forged in this space, so you'll see that I linked the YouTube channel. So when you say hi, I add you on the screen. This is the way we maximize our reach week after week, whether you're on Facebook or you're in the on the YouTube channel. Wherever you are, we are also streaming to LinkedIn and Twitter. Yes, yes, maximizing our reach in all the places. And then all you have to do, I put you up on the screen, and prayerfully, I know I go back when others, as we continue to grow and develop, go back, they come to know you, they come to like you and trust you. They see your face week after week, they see your channel and follow and connect. We want to see you grow in all the ways as YouTubers and podcasters today. So, Coach Paul, you were such a blessing yesterday. And we have a special announcement coming up. I've been working on the promo video for that since our soft launch yesterday, and Coach Paul was our co-host. And so, Coach Paul, you can go ahead and just unmute on Clubhouse, not on Zoom, because I know it will bring over a feedback, and that will allow everyone to hear you since you'll come through my Rodecaster Pro. Over to you, Coach Paul.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Can you hear me well?
Yes, loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome. I'm running a new mixer, so I want to make sure everything's good. Thank you so much, Stacey. This has been awesome. Just being a part of this club and a part of this movement. So just talking about YouTubing, I am actually fairly new to YouTubing, but I am a what I call 7-year veteran of live stream. And to piggyback off of what Jamie was saying is collaboration, like literally bringing guests onto my podcast. And what I do is I actually stream it live on YouTube and on my Facebook profile as well. And I actually have one this afternoon in about 2 or 3 hours with somebody that I just connected with. And so, just like Jamie was saying, there is no competition in the kingdom. When you are in the kingdom and you are able to collaborate and you are able to join forces, that only makes us stronger. And so each link comes together as one. And so that is what has worked for me. And then the other thing that I've tried, I started doing it in February, was started having people sign up to my text blast. And from the text blast, when I go live or if I post anything to YouTube, I will shoot that link out in that text blast, because for me, I get a lot of emails and a lot of people get a lot of emails, but I've heard feedback from all of my crew and my tribe and just new people. They're like, just text me. So I said, well, you know what? Let me try this text blast thing one more time, because I tried it about a year ago. It just didn't work for me. But now it's working to where I started the YouTube channel in February. And I know the numbers ain't that great, but I think it's up to like 60 subscribers without me having to do any type of hard advertising. But it's word of mouth. Like, hey, if you want to sign up to my text blast, it's a link that's in my emails. And then just people that I'm talking to, I'll just shoot them the link. They fill out the email form. I gather all of that, and then still sending out more resources as far as more emails, newsletters, all of those things that we still stay involved in. And so I'm still fresh at YouTube. I say, you know what? I'm going to try YouTube for a whole entire year. Let me see what this whole thing is all about. And so it's been working. It's slowly working. It's a work in progress. But yeah, I mean, it is just amazing the way it's fun. And I love using StreamYard, because StreamYard is allows you, just like Restream or Ecamm, to be able to highlight any people that are watching through Facebook or from YouTube. I can highlight their comments. It engages them more. Algorithms go up. And so that's what works for me. And then when I put my pre-recorded videos, I ask them, dialogue down below. I want to join this conversation. Then I go back into YouTube when I get the notifications and have that chat with them as well. So that's what I got. I don't have a whole lot because I'm not a pro yet, but I am Paul, and I'm complete.
Yes, Paul, I love that. I love that you said not yet, right? The operative word there, it's going to become a reality. It's going to happen in time. And I mean, it's amazing, Coach Paul, to know you have been able to see through 400 and something episodes, live stream, the commitment and the consistency that requires is absolutely amazing. And so what I did, I sent a chat over in our Zoom, because that's another component of our live show here on our Fearless Fridays. You are able to show up fearlessly on camera as well if you're up to it. And I know Coach Paul is very big on live stream. I want to give a special shout out as well to, we have a content creator, he said here as well, music producer out of Tampa, Florida, known as D-Top Music as well. Oh my word, so good. So I added him on the screen. If you guys want to come over and, we'll, just like you heard Coach Paul moments ago share, being able to have that dialogue, that is immeasurable. That is what is the beauty of live streaming, the beauty of podcasting with YouTube integrated as well. You get to see the face and get to know the people if they have a channel going on as well. That leads to possible collaborations and opportunities and reach, right? Maximizing your reach. And I love, Coach Paul, that you said the text messaging. I mean, it can be costly, but you have to count the cost. Is it worth it? because I've seen it can absolutely be worth it. I at one point used mobile text alerts, and then I went over the cap because once you get to a certain level of subscribers, then it becomes more costly, right? And so I've been checking out others like Community and so many different tools that are out there. And we always love to collect those tools and give them to you if you're in the market to consider what can you add to your business as a fearless creator to help you to fearlessly create. So I love that you mentioned that. And then I want to make sure anybody else here on the stage are, as you know, we're sharing today, if there's anything that's jumping out to you, and in the chat sometimes we will get questions, so I'm going to make sure I go to the chat as well so that we can answer any questions that we do get as we engage. I just love the engagement that you guys are bringing to this space as fearless creators. And then a special thank you to those of you who've shared out this room. We always love having Jamie here as well. She says, such a great room. Get your message in front of as many people in your audience as you can and make a bigger impact. And Damien, oh, I appreciate your kindness. Stacy is out here helping us fearless. Yes, and embrace fearless creating. Come get in the mix. Amen. And we're just so grateful that you are all able to connect for this power hour. So I'm going to check here if James, if you are able. All right, wonderful. We're going to pass the mic over to
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Coach Paul. I started my channel 13 months ago.
You're breaking up, brother. Is that me or is he in the
Channel.
matrix?
Oh, I'm sorry. I do no. I have a. I know where I'm at. So
Okay, now you're
I'll be in
good.
a good spot in 5 minutes. Okay. I still have a red bar.
I can hear you
Yep.
now. Okay, yeah, it is happening. I guess it was just for a moment there. We'll come back when you're in a better spot. No
Yeah.
worries.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a few minutes. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. So, some of the questions that I sent, and yes, let's go. So, some of the questions that I sent recently to those of you who are really wanting to maximize your reach, asking yourself the questions: are you doing enough? Are you doing all the things that is within your reach and your know how, the knowledge? We know that knowledge is power. And so, are you taking the time to actually put into motion what it is that you have available to you? And so many of us, we do rack up, all of these resources. Some of us have a lot of courses sitting on our digital shelves, and we're also taking the time to invest in maybe certain memberships, and certain even templates. And are you maximizing them so that you are able to reach further? That is the beauty I've heard from so many fearless creators who have not only accountability, but making sure that week after week you're going back to that plan and that intention that you had to utilize the things that you've invested in. Nothing is squandered unless you never use it, right? Taking action on what you have before you. And so a lot of times, week after week or in the moment you get an idea, Damien said it earlier, he'll take note of the things that he has heard and that he has been able to receive from guests and people who he has invited in or that he has partnered with or collaborated with. But then how are you making sure to now take action on what you've noted? And so I want you to think about that. How are you maximizing the overall production value and message that you have to convey to the masses that you're called to speak to? And so I want to definitely invite until James. Okay, James, you're going to try see if you're in a better space. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right about what Damien said. So I keep a pad with me all the time, and I take notes throughout the day because my brain's always moving. So I think of different things I want to say in the next video, and I have a template, but I shift it around, so it's not always the same thing. So when people come to my videos, I've been trying to stay as consistent as possible to a week, but 150 videos ago, it would take me 8 hours to edit, a 15-minute video So now I've got it down to about 2 hours. So that workflow gets easier and easier. And a lot of ways I've learned is like Jamie said, through collaboration. I mean, I spent an hour today talking to a new guy I just met named Phil Hill in Wisconsin, and I'm in Texas. And we talked about different production aspects and of how we do sound. And I've learned to have everything set up and laid out when it's time to record, because there's nothing worse than it's time to record and you don't have certain things ready, or where's this wire for this light or this mic, or I forgot to put a card in my camera. So I always do all that the night before, because I shoot in the mornings because that's when I'm my freshest, and that's when I can show my most passion, and that's when I'm my sharpest, and then I edit at night. So when my wife likes to watch Hallmark movies, so I just sit there and edit while she watches, right? So you know, you got to spend time to maximize my time. But through collaborations, I've learned so much. You heard me say for a while I had gas, and I bought too much stuff that I don't need. All it did was slow down my workflow. The editing software I use works so good. I don't need the more expensive one. The different mics and stuff like that, mixing boards where I just use a mixer now and not worry about sound because my sound's fine. So I just try to do more on. Also on my giveaways, I've decided to do this. I want your opinion on this. Usually they leave comments underneath, and I give away. So I'm gonna have people start emailing me, and that way I can build my email list and let them know I'm not going to spam them out, and I'll only email them when it's when it's appropriate times, maybe once a month or something like that. So I'm James, and real quickly, Coach, if there's anything I can help you, I hired a YouTube coach in the beginning, and he taught me so many different things that I wish I had known. And I did cross 3,500 subscribers today in 13 months. But I worked with a little Dude Perfect a little bit last month, and that puts you back in your place to work with someone that has 57 million. So but it's all for him, and it always has been, and it always will be. Thank you so much, I'm James.
Amen. Oh my word. Love that. Thank you so much, James. I love that you've also made sure to share the wealth of the connections and the resources that can help others as well as yourself get to the next level. And so I loved Coach Paul. He was flashing here, and I definitely want to hear him come back in and respond. And since he is here in the green room, we'll be able to see him on camera as well. We had a wonderful time after the Kingdom Mindset Room, which you, James, were just such a blessing in as well. And it was just so amazing to see the feedback that we could give to continue to improve. You spoke about it just moments ago, James, being able to have certain systems, certain rhythms, certain things in place so that it does become easier over time. You don't recognize, guys, that as time goes on and as you remain consistent, it is not going to be as overwhelming, but you have to remain diligent, right? You have to keep looking back on ways to improve and keep maximizing what you know to do, and that will naturally start flowing out of you and improving the value and the quality of your content over time. It's invaluable. And we just want to make sure that you're maximizing that today, and you're maximizing your reach collectively as fearless creators. So even if you're not able to make the connections and share your affiliate link or that particular reference that you want to make, go over into the back channel, right? And take the time to DM each other during this power hour so that you can see some results as you go forward with your weekend and with your fearless week ahead because of your Fearless Friday experience today. So appreciate that. Coach Paul, did you want to respond, or any of our other moderators and speakers here on the stage? We'd love to go ahead and give you an opportunity to be able to pour in and let us know before I go to some questions that we're going to be answering. Okay, Coach Paul, over to you.
Awesome. Just really quick to add to what James was saying is that so for me,
my whole setup is set up permanent because this is where all of my live streaming is. And so
like James was saying, try not to get bombarded with all of the stuff, because I went through years of buying this and buying that and trying this and trying that. And at the end of the day, I've got one umbrella light. I've got a $15 virtual cam. I got my computer. I've got my mixer, which I don't, actually need. I just like toys, but that's it. Before I had all kinds of different things and lights over here and just stuff. And it just got to a place where there was wires everywhere. It just looked horrible. And so once you find that niche and once you find what works for you and you're comfortable in that, I believe that anybody who is wanting to start that YouTube channel or even live stream, just keep it simple. Keep it very simple, spirit of excellence. Keep it in a way that is glorifying God. But the most important thing, just like James said, is the message, that it's all for him. It's all clear. It's all concise. And that's what has worked for me, to just keep it simple. Done is better than perfect. And then you just improve and tweak and, here and there. And so I just wanted to add that just to also help. And thank you, James, for that. If I need that help, and yes, I will definitely be reaching out and picking your brain. So I am Paul, and I'm complete. Thank you.
Yes. Finding what works for you. Okay, so guess what, guys? While we were doing this live experience, I tested out something. And, because I'm also connected to wisdom, the next time you speak, Paul, what we're going to do is we'll mute you here on Clubhouse, and then we'll have you come through on Ecamm Live, because I realized the audio was coming through loud and clear for everyone to hear in all of the places, because Ecamm Live allows everything to come through the Rodecaster Pro. So guys, this is something that's exciting. We're learning as we continue on, and we always want to give opportunities like this. In the past, we've had set up where all 4 people are on stage, and we also have them on camera, and everybody's able to get that live panelist experience, but it has to be done through one particular tool and streaming platform. Like I'm using, my choice is Ecamm Live. We have StreamYard, and I just realized that I need to change my scene. So guys, we're doing all the things, right? So I loved seeing that Paul was like shaking his head, and like he was the perfect face there while I'm there talking in the background. But now you guys can see me. So it's just amazing, all the exciting things that you can do. And you can have someone remotely navigating all of the cameras as well, right? So you can keep things spicy and exciting. I did put in some bumpers. So you're going to see at some point that we're going to go into some little mini commercials that are really fun and exciting, literally seconds. So you can break it up. You can make it exciting. And like we spoke about last week, if you did not watch the live that we had, the production that was inspired by our brother James, who consistently adds value to our community and with us. And he mentioned making sure you have passion with your production, right? Stay passionate. And a big part of staying passionate is having that excitement, knowing that it is adding to the value that you've been called to give, and knowing that you are impacting lives with what you create. It's a part of your why. It's a part of your mission and vision to fulfill the anointing that is on your life and the appointment that you've been given. And it is absolutely amazing, the results, because the results sometimes those are going to be the things that spur us on forward, even when we don't feel like it, because we know it's worth it, right? So count the cost. Think what you're doing. Is it worth it? Is it something that lights you up? Are you able to operate in your zone of genius? Or as you heard Coach Paul just say moments ago, is it getting messy? Are you not inspired by your workspace? That's why we dedicate a whole podcast episode, a whole blog post, and a whole series with even training on being able to create a space you love. You want to have a space where you're able to produce, you're able to create fearlessly. So we have another amazing guest joining us here on the stage, a fellow podcast pro, Dimple. We are talking about maximizing your reach and plan. You always hear us discussing this in our Fearless Friday, maximizing your energy. But we want to maximize our reach and the plan that we have. How are you doing that, Dimple, as a podcaster, as an influencer, in all of the ways? The mic is over to you.
Thank you, Stacey. So, when it comes to creating content, you have to be strategic about it. And if you do it in a very planned out, strategic way, you can take, one piece of content and you can repurpose it multiple times. So, for example, if you record a podcast, you can record it in video and audio, right? So you can put the video on YouTube and then you have the audio for your podcast. And then you also can take the video and you can make reels out of it, or you can make, mini clips to share on social media. And then you can take the transcript and you can make a blog post out of it. And you can strategically write the blog for SEO so you can get it to rank high on the search engines. And that's going to draw more traffic back to your podcast. And so I think it's all about like being in multiple places, but without having to do like double, triple the work. It's about planning it out, and it's also about batching your time. So, like if you're going to record videos, you're going to record Instagram Reels, like put it on your calendar and batch it all out. Like do it once a week, allocate 1.5, 2 hours, and then allocate like, okay, at nighttime I'm going to sit and I'm going to edit everything. And that's going to make the whole process so much easier. So those are a few tips, Stacey.
Yes! Oh my word, Dimple. So incredible for us to consider. Oh, we don't have enough time in the day and energy to sometimes create all the things. But if we can figure out a strategy and a way to repurpose, oh my word, it goes such a long way to batch our content. Who else on this stage is batching their content? Jemmy, I know you're a fellow producer. Oh my word, yes. I mean, it's amazing the power of that. Do you want to go in on that as well?
Well, actually, first of all, I wanted to say kudos to you, Stacey, because the way that you run rooms is clearly people feel so welcome and invited, and they know that they can share such great tips, but then also soak up such great tips. And I'm so glad that it's been so long, but it's way too long. But I'm glad that I can share the stage with Dimple once again. So hi to Dimple. And then, actually, I want to jump off of something that says that I'm sorry, Chris Paul. I do. I'm like, what's Chris Paul? Chris Paul said actually. If you don't mind, I want to step back for just a second because you were talking about the equipment and everything, and I just wanted to share that one of the ways that I encourage people to get started is to really put the concept of your message first. We're in this room talking about um, you maximize your reach, but that comes with purpose. And I know that Stacey, you run your rooms for people to have a purpose for their message. And so once you know what your message is and what your purpose is, and then you want to think through the best way, the best format to deliver that to your audience, then think about the equipment. And the reason I say put it in that order is because my heart breaks whenever I have a client come to me who's done it out of order and gets all excited and buys all the things, and then there are things that they don't need, and then it gets messy and overwhelming. And so I would say think of the concept first, then the format you want to deliver it through, and that'll help define what the equipment is that you truly actually need. It's that whole kind of goes back to the measure once cut, or measure twice, cut once. So measure twice what exactly is that your message is going to be. Find out what it is that you need as far as equipment and tech, and then go get it. And then also one more thing, then make your atmosphere really fun. For me, I fleshed out my studio with Legos and all kinds of fun stuff because it's my space. And so when I go on live and you see a neon sign behind me that says dream, or you see, what my pictures of my son or whatever it is, make your space for you because it's ultimately, if you can put yourself in the right headspace, then everything that comes out of you energetically will flow out so much more positively and hit your mark so much better with your audience. So I just wanted to share that after Coach Paul shared. But in reference to what Dimple was saying in terms of repurposing, honestly, I can't add anything else. You said it perfectly. So thank you so much, Stacey, Dimple, Coach Paul, James. Wonderful to be here, and hello to Ashley.
Yes, this is so good, so rich. Think about all the ways here today. If you have your Clubhouse notebook, right now is the perfect time to start making notes on what you can do? What tools can you make sure that you have before you? What kind of backdrop? Jamie, we talked about, making sure that even if you have a product, you have a book, you see my planner back there, and then my journals, and I always have people reaching out and saying, "Oh my word, I see you have all these resources and I want to create this for my group." What are the ways? How are you maximizing and doing all of these things? And I say, "Okay, yes, I have a package. I have all of the wisdom, the knowledge, and the insight that I've put together, and all you have to do is get it here," right? And so when you realize people are asking you questions because they see the value of what it is you're producing, and they see that there's something that they want to duplicate in their business, it is amazing that we have a way that we can exchange in value, in investment, that goes such a long way for people to realize that, hey, what you have to offer is of great worth. And I believe in you. Some of you who are here in the listening lounge and on the stage, some of you are partners, you're plan members, and you see that in our intros and outros that we have ways that we want to make sure we're maximizing together, that we're investing in each other, right? The time is invaluable, and the resources that we've put together and put years and love and effort into goes such a long way, and everybody wins. So Ashley, I want to welcome you to the stage, and we're just so excited that you are someone that's maximizing your reach. Even joining us here today, I think I've had the pleasure of seeing your face before, but it's been maybe a while, so we definitely want to hear from you. How are you maximizing your reach and plan? And then Coach Paul, I did see you flashing your mic in a moment, so we'll probably bring you back on the screen with a quick little, what we would say, a little bumper. So you'll see in the excitement some of the things we're talking about as you're maximizing your reach, and even promoting some of the other things you do subliminally with what you have on camera in your background, but also with what you share visually through videos and through YouTube and through your podcasting, and being intentional with all of that. It goes back, as Jemmy says, to the message you want to convey and the purpose for which you are showing up and creating content fearlessly. So Ashley, the mic is over to you. Ashley, I don't know if you're
Sorry,
able.
I was having trouble in miking.
Okay, no worries. Welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Welcome. Thank you. Hi, Stacey. I have seen you before. My name is Ashley Fern, and I'm a Pinterest specialist, and I support mompreneurs here on Clubhouse. And I really just came on stage, number one, because audio quality is better up here when you're on iPhone. And number two, because I heard Dimple talking about repurposing content, and I was just like, yes, because I love repurposing content. So in all honesty, I don't have a YouTube or a podcast at this time. However, at some point, I have a feeling I probably will, but I have to focus on one thing at a time. But I just wanted to come up and hear better what was going on. And I would say, how am I maximizing my reach, period? Like just in my marketing, the most important way that I'm maximizing my reach right now is actually working on that backdrop you were talking about. I need one even just for my Instagram. So that is something that I am pulling together the resources for. At the moment, my desk and my workspace is actually combined with my bedroom. So it makes it a little more challenging, but I'm working on it. So I just am glad to hear the part of the conversation. And my name is Ashley Fern. I'm complete.
Actually, my show is called Business in the Bedroom because I started it for people who are building their businesses in their bedroom.
Oh my word. Okay, so I always have to clap up our shares here today. But go ahead, Jemmy. I wanted to make sure, because I know you were talking about the name of your podcast to that reference with Ashley.
Oh, that was it. I just thought it was funny that she was laughing at herself about having business in her bedroom. I'm like, that's literally how I built the show.
Yes, yes. Oh, those brilliant, brilliant ideas that, come and that really resonates, right? So Ashley is your person, Jemmy, knowing that you created a whole show on this concept and this idea. These connections are magical when we can see, the strings that bind us together. And Ashley, the work you do is so vital. I love that you are taking the time to help people with their Pinterest marketing because that is a strategy. I know we say we can't do it all, right? But if you have enlisted the collaboration and the expertise of people that are fearlessly doing the things that you know you need to do, like we're seeing here on this stage, some of the most brilliant minds in podcasting, YouTubing, now Pinterest, and then even in the listening lounge, sometimes people can't join us, and a few people had raised their hands, and we did try to bring you up, but I don't know if there's an issue with the app, but at any point, if you want to come up during our power hour, we will turn off hand raising in about 3 minutes because we are trying to be very productive, very intentional with the time that we spend together as fearless creators. And I did take the time to put a few of you up on the screen so that if you're here on YouTube land, you can connect with each other, follow each other, leave this room with new fearless connections as we show up week after week on this Fearless Friday to help you to be just that. All right, so any of our other moderators wanted to give any feedback or answer any questions? Okay, James, over to you. And welcome to the stage, Tanya. We're glad you're here. Over to you, James.
Thanks, Stacey. I was going to say, the first 6 months in YouTube, I was on its own little island all by myself, and it's kind of lonely on there. And then I went through a period where I started meeting all these people, and that was fun too. But like you said, it took away from my time management. I was spending more time trying to learn how to produce where I wasn't producing. And you got to treat it like a business, and you got to have time management. It is great to out and meet people and collaborate and everything, but don't let it take away from hitting that record button. Like Sean Cannell says, you got to hit record. So if I find myself now piddling around the house and I'm ready to record, but I'm playing with my dog or something like that, then something's amiss. I need to have that intentionality when it's time to do it. Kind of like that, like your boyfriend or girlfriend's coming over to your house in 17 minutes and you can get more house cleaning done in that 17 minutes than you could on 3 hours on a Sunday, right? So you need to have that focus, that intentionality of what you're doing to stay focused because if you really want to be successful, then you've got to give that professional effort out every single time and treat it like, God wants order. You got to have stuff in order. If you find yourself piddling around and you're for some reason you're procrastinating, then something's amiss. Get it in alignment, get it straightened out, learn you're a professional, and that you need to get that what you set your goals at is, if it's 2 videos.
Is it me? We did lose you just a moment there, James. You were given a great example there with your intention and your goals as a YouTuber. Did you want to try again to wrap up? Okay, I know he had to probably come back in, leave and come back in to get the audio right. Go ahead.
I don't know what's going on. Whenever I get a phone call, even when I hang up, it still kills my audio. I'll figure that out. I need to start putting it on airplane mode in these rooms. Thank you.
I was having that issue for about 2 days, and I went and looked in my app store just to check if there was an update, and there was, and it cleared it up. So, I can't hear me because you got a phone call.
That was
your app, James.
No, it's fine. You are a little bit low, Jemmy. I don't know if it's just me, but I wanted to make sure that I let James hear what you said. So I guess you have to update your actual app, and you will find that it's gotten rid of some of the issues that are happening right now with the audio. So you can try one more time, James.
Oh, I was done speaking. Anyway, I just wanted to share that about time management, not procrastinating, sticking with your craft. It is fun to collaborate, but don't spend all your time getting ready. Because you got to get that out there because you'll learn as you go. Don't try to learn the whole craft before you get started.
Yes, yes, so vital, guys. Done, we always hear it in these rooms, is better than perfect. Okay, we are striving for excellence, but it's not perfection. And that's not required of us. People need your message. And when Ashley was speaking earlier about being on Pinterest and wanting to, recognize at some point how she can really show up as a YouTuber and podcaster. Maybe not at this time because there's so much that she's doing, but finding a way to maximize the tools that are available to you, right? So if you're already creating content on Pinterest, is there a way that that same content that you're creating, you're able to repurpose that in a format that would be conducive on the actual YouTube channel, right? People do have those visuals and you can maybe add your sound bite, your audio on top of the visual that you're already creating for Pinterest. Maybe you're doing rooms here on Clubhouse. Can you repurpose that conversation and make that a content piece that you can add on your podcast? And then you can also add that visual element like we do here where it's available on your YouTube channel. Because guess what? People are always more forgiving when you're doing it live. And so I think it's the perfect time. Taniel, go ahead and flash your mic if you had any questions or if you wish to introduce yourself. We'd love to hear from you and let us know how you are maximizing your reach and plan as a fearless creator, YouTuber, or podcaster. Over to you.
Well, my name is Danielle, and I am really a baby with this YouTube and podcasting part. I've been on Clubhouse just kind of soaking it in and hoping to gain some learning. But I want to get started and start doing my podcasting, YouTubing together, starting at the 1st of May. I would like to because I have an idea what I would like to do. However, I'm listening to the gentleman speak. He said, just go ahead and just do it. Don't worry about trying to get it all right. Just press record, which is what I will do. So I will be very authentic in that part. Very similar to my Instagram experience recently. I started on Instagram. I try to avoid Instagram like plague for the longest. And so I did the same thing, just pressed record and went live. And I just, even though I had a little mistakes along the way, I just played along and kept it going. So at least I'm not too new with going live. I have that experience, but I'm ready to do the podcasting and then put it on YouTube. However, I have no clue about how to do YouTube. And so I guess I'm just going to look around and find some help on YouTube, how to do YouTube.
Danielle, you're in the right space. Oh, I'm so excited that you were led here today. And so what I'm going to do, we're going to go around the room as we're getting very close to the top of the hour here. And guys, those of you who are in the listening lounge, do make these last connections with each other. For our power hour, guys, we are staying really considerate and cognizant of the time that we intentionally spend together on our Fearless Fridays. We're barely scratching the surface and the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, when we do this. And so if you're watching right now on YouTube or in the Facebook group or on LinkedIn or on Twitter, guys, we're in all the places maximizing our reach together today. I want you to go ahead and click the link up above if you're in the Clubhouse room. Join over and see what I'm about to put on the screen. And yes, so that is another way that you're able to listen and see and do as a podcaster. We want you to tune into that, okay? And then next, from our previous recorded sessions, every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we show up for you and we show up together. So Taniel, I want to remind you that we are not only a community here, we're resources. Yes, you said it, that you can tap into. And that is going to help you to go further in this idea and this message that you've been given to get out to the world through this method, right? We know that YouTube is a search engine platform. People need to discover you, and they need to maybe get the solution that you provide to their problem. And so we have strategies in place. We have a couple of people in the listening lounge as well as here on the stage who are a part of our community of fearless creators. And so you may want to get that guidance. You may want to check out their bio, see what tools they have to offer. And then you may want to get that community to go deeper as a YouTuber and as a podcaster. And you'll see the information on that at the outro as well as on the intro to be able to see how you can get that further assistance week after week. Have a plan in place and stick to that plan. Maximize that plan because, like James said earlier, it gets easier and easier as you remain consistent, as you have a rhythm, which we've spoken about in previous episodes. You can go back and watch our live video on that, in making sure that you have a strategy. What does that look like? And then stick to it for at least 90 days so you can see if it's working. You can get the feedback from those who are watching and participating or people who you are doing life with in community. So we're going to work our way from Coach Paul, who is live here with me, to share some last tips on how you can maximize your reach and plan that he's going to run with and that he's going to encourage you to run with as a fearless creator in community with us. So over to you, Coach Paul. All right, now we can hear you, Coach Paul.
Okay, awesome. I just want to make sure. Hold on, there's a back feed.
Okay, I'm going to do it this way through Clubhouse.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Awesome. So one of the things that I am taking away from this is how can I batch one day and do everything all in that one day? That's powerful because we get so busy. I get so busy of doing this and clients and calls and this and that. And so batching that one day, that is imperative. The other thing that I wanted to also share, I think it was you that was saying it, Stacy, about promoting your stuff. If you're looking at my background, I've got my Kingdom Link stuff. I've got my book on my top shelf, but then also the shirt, the gear, and then overlays. So if you are using something like Restream, StreamYard, create those overlays, and you can do that in Canva. They got a free version, a paid version. There's all types of things that you can do in order to do so. And then now StreamYard actually has a StreamYard team that will create those backgrounds and overlays for you as well. So I just wanted to share that. And I'm going to take how can I batch my day and then also stay passionate in production. That was powerful. So I am Paul and I'm complete. Thank you.
Yes, guys, you heard it from the master of live streaming himself. I just love it, Coach Paul. Yes, we are going to remain passionate. That was the conversation last week. Going deeper, not losing that spark. And so much that we can run with today. You heard Coach Paul. You see right there the example. I actually still have his title on there from our yesterday's room, which if you are a subscriber to the actual newsletter, you're going to get all of the deets, all the details, because we have a special promo with amazing feedback and some of our contributors from yesterday, because it's not just one day that we'll be bringing that show to you. You're going to learn how many days every single week that we are going to bring it to you, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to have a platform, a space, a community to be able to share what it is you're gifted to do and what it is that you've been given as a message and a solution to help people with their problems. So with that, we're going to have Jemmy and James. We'd love for you guys to give any final tips. And then Taniel and Ashley, if you also have anything you're going to run with today from what you've heard in this session, we'd also love for you to chime in. So Jemmy, over to you.
Thank you so much. So as a content creator, I've been a content creator now for about a decade or so. And at first I started off creating content for other people, really learning the ins and outs of SEO. And I'm doing it for myself, but I can tell you, no matter what stage of this process I've been through, even when I'm doing a solo show, no matter what I'm doing, working with others always makes it better. And that means not only my awesome team, partners, whether that's a mindset team or coming into Clubhouse, whatever it is, working with others really does help you improve so much more. You need that support. You need people who understand what you're trying to do. And you also need people who are going to help further your message. So don't do this alone. Come be a part of a community, whether it's this one or anything else. Be a part of a community as a content creator, and you'll go a lot farther. I'm complete. Thank you, Stacey.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for always sharing your gift and your time with us, Jemmy. I just love serving in all the places, not even just here, but I know Jemmy has so many incredible rooms on podcasting as well. So do make sure to tap in, guys. James, over to you, brother.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tennille, one of my first videos a year ago, I almost took it off because my face was orange. And and here a year later, it's got 50-something thousand views, 6,000 watch hours, and it's paid me probably $800 or $900 since I've been monetized. Because you know why? Because I had passion in it, and people wanted to know. And then one tip I can do is when you finish every video, see how you can improve. Like sometimes I realized I was promoting a black something in a black box or a black product with a black T-shirt on. Well, that don't work. Wear a white T-shirt when you have a black product, or if I have a yellow product, have an orange T-shirt on. So and then have a checklist. Did you format your video card? You don't want to shoot everything and then realize it's corrupted. And you just start having a checklist when you go down, and you'll start learning each time, and you'll just and that's what makes it fun. Because to me, the fun of it is the whole production of it and learning each time. And when I go back and look at my videos just from 3 months ago or 6 months ago, I realize how much I've learned. A year ago, I didn't know what aperture meant or focal length or anything. And so the journey has been just as much fun as what I'm producing. So thank you so much.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this has been so, so good, guys. I mean, so many of those who are plan members, partners always say, I want to get my branding right. And sometimes just having the template to put in your colors and making sure your logo and all these things can make such a world of difference. James talked about the checklist. I don't know if he has a checklist, but definitely go ahead and make sure that we have so many ways that you can make sure you have the things ticked off the box, right? As to what it is that you need to accomplish so that you are able to be confident in your message and in your production. So powerful. Ashley, Tanielle, any last words that you would love to share? Go ahead, and don't want to put you on the spot. Flash your mics as we get ready. Awesome. Over to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Stacey. So I just wanted to say that I'm thankful that I came up today and that I was listening to this very awesome conversation about how to maximize your reach. And I really love what was shared about just planning and making sure that you know what you want to do. And I would say to your point about being able to repurpose what you're doing on Pinterest, you can also work that the other way around. So there's a lot of video content now on Pinterest. And so one of the things that you may consider doing is just simply taking clips of what you're doing in other places and putting them on Pinterest so that they are seen by even more people. And so my name is Ashley Fern, and I am complete.
Love that. Guys, you can't forget one of many platforms you can maximize your reach. It's so easy, right? Use a template. Keep being able to repurpose the content that you're fearlessly creating, and that is of great value that the world needs to discover and know is there. So that's how they're going to find you. And we're just so excited about what has happened today. We're excited that you saw the value in taking time for you to fearlessly show up on this Fearless Friday. And we're going to give one last call to action before we wrap up with our outro music and our last connections here in the audience as well as in the chat. Share out this room so that that will amplify the reach and connections possible for you as a fearless creator. And especially as you continue to interact, we know those of you who are tuning in live, say hello in the chat. Let us know one thing that really stood out to you. Go back and see some of the content throughout the weekend that is relevant to some of the discussions we discussed today, and that we can go back and optimize by making available through TubeBuddy, who was our sponsor for the Fearless Creator Summit last year, and that we will be bringing back to you again this year, in making sure you have the tools that you need to make things easy, make things simplified and streamlined. Yes, it's going to take work, but it's absolutely worth it. It's going to become easier and easier as time goes on because you've established the rhythm and you've established what works and what you need to improve upon. So if you weren't able to comment live so that we could put your face up on the screen here on YouTube, make sure to comment after the fact here in the comment section so that you can keep engaging as fearless creators. Whether you were live or you're watching on the replay, we want you to stay connected throughout the week until we come back again for a Fearless Friday and next week in the Christian Content Creator Club. So with that, guys, we love and appreciate you, and we are closing out together as fearless creators on this Fearless Friday. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing the love.